There is a remarkable secret hidden just beneath our feet. It is a powerful truth that has been known for centuries. It is the ability to bring soil back to vibrant, teeming life. This can be done without a single drop of modern chemical fertilizer. Imagine transforming a patch of ground that is dry, pale, lifeless into a dark, rich, and thriving ecosystem. This isn't a complex scientific breakthrough. Instead, it is a return to an ancient understanding. It is a partnership with the smallest of living things. This knowledge has the power to change how we grow our food and care for our planet. Before us lies a stark contrast. On one side, we see soil that has been exhausted. It is pale gray, cracked, and dusty. A plant struggles to survive in it, its leaves yellow and weak. This soil has lost its structure, its moisture, and its very soul. On the other side, we see something entirely different. The soil is deep, crumbly, brown, almost black. It holds moisture like a sponge. A plant growing here is robust and verdant, its leaves a testament to the vitality below. For countless generations, those who worked the land knew something fundamental. They understood that the soil was not merely dirt, it was a living entity, a community that required care and nourishment. Long before synthetic fertilizers, farmers and gardeners across the globe had developed ingenious methods to boost the life within their soil. They didn't have laboratories or complex chemistry. They had observation, they had patience, they had a deep respect for the natural cycles of growth and decay. These practices, passed down through families and communities, formed an ancient pact with the land. In Asia, farmers learned to create what is now sometimes called fermented plant juice. They would gather the most vigorous, fast-growing plants from the surrounding area. They understood that these plants contained a powerful life force. By fermenting them with natural sugars, they created a potent, microbe-rich liquid. This brew was not a direct fertilizer for the plant, it was a feast for the soil's microscopic inhabitants. Another remarkable technique is the creation of compost tea. The concept is beautifully simple. Farmers would take a small amount of their very best finished compost, a material already teeming with beneficial bacteria and fungi. They would steep this compost in water, much like making tea. To give the microbes a boost, they would often add a simple food source, like molasses, and aerate the mixture. In the Amazon basin, an even more ancient practice left its mark on the very earth. Here, people created what is known as terra preta, or black earth. They enriched the notoriously poor jungle soil with charcoal, or biochar. This wasn't just any charcoal, it was made through a slow-burning process that created a highly porous and stable form of carbon. This technique transformed the soil so profoundly that these dark, fertile patches remain productive even today, centuries later. To understand how these ancient practices work, we must journey into a hidden world. The soil beneath our feet is one of the most diverse habitats on Earth. It is home to billions upon billions of microscopic organisms in every handful. We call them microbes. They include bacteria, fungi, protozoa, nematodes. These are the tiny, unseen helpers that form the backbone of a healthy soil food web. They are not pests, they are essential partners. They live in a complex symbiotic relationship with plant roots, performing tasks that plants simply cannot do on their own. They are the true farmers of the underworld. Imagine the area immediately surrounding a plant's root. This zone, called the rhizosphere, is a bustling hub of activity. Plants, through photosynthesis, create sugars. They then cleverly send a portion of these sugars or exudates out through their roots. This is not waste, it is a deliberate invitation. The plant is offering a food source to attract beneficial microbes. In return for this sugary meal, the microbes perform a host of vital services. One of the most critical jobs these microbes perform is that of a master chef. Much of the nutrition in the soil, such as nitrogen, phosphorus, other minerals, is locked up in a form that plants cannot absorb directly. Microbes, however, can. They consume these complex materials, breaking them down through their own metabolic processes. When they do, they release these nutrients in a simple, bioavailable form right where the plant's roots can easily take them up. Without this microbial digestion, a plant could be starving in a soil that is technically full of nutrients. Furthermore, these tiny allies are also the soil's architects and protectors. Certain types of fungi, known as mycorrhizal fungi, form vast networks of thread-like hyphae that extend far beyond the plant's own roots. These threads dramatically increase the root system's surface area, allowing the plant to access water and nutrients from a much larger volume of soil. Other microbes produce sticky, glue-like substances that bind soil particles together into stable aggregates. This creates the crumbly, well-aerated structure of healthy soil, which prevents compaction and allows water to soak in rather than run off. This living web makes the soil resilient, fertile, and truly alive. The ancient methods of fermented plant juice and compost tea work because they directly address the needs of this microbial world. They are not random concoctions. They are targeted strategies for cultivating a specific and beneficial biological community. When we create these brews, we are essentially becoming microbe farmers. We are taking a small, dormant population of helpful organisms and providing them with the perfect conditions to explode in number. Let's look more closely at fermented plant juice. The process begins by selecting vibrant, healthy plant matter. These plants are rich in natural hormones, enzymes, diverse microbial life living on their surfaces. When these are combined with a simple sugar source like unrefined brown sugar, something remarkable happens. The sugar draws the moisture out of the plant cells through osmosis. This creates a nutrient-dense liquid. In this environment, specific types of microbes, particularly lactic acid bacteria, yeasts, begin to thrive. They ferment the mixture, preserving the nutrients and creating a brew that is easy for other microbes to digest, hostile to many plant pathogens. Compost tea operates on a similar principle of explosive growth, but with a different cast of characters. The goal here is to cultivate a broad diversity of aerobic or oxygen-loving organisms. By steeping high-quality compost in water, actively pumping air through it, we create an ideal environment for beneficial bacteria, fungi to reproduce rapidly. The addition of a food source like molasses fuels this population boom. Within just 24 to 36 hours, a single teaspoon of compost can yield trillions of active microorganisms in the resulting tea. This is not just nutrient water, it is a dense, living inoculant. When these brews are applied to the soil, the effect is immediate. It is like sending in waves of reinforcements to a depleted army. This sudden burst of activity kickstarts the entire soil food web. The results of nurturing the soil's microbial life are not just theoretical, they are tangible and often appear with surprising speed. Within weeks and sometimes even days of applying a compost tea or fermented plant juice, you can witness a visible transformation in your garden or field. One of the first signs is in the plants themselves. The leaves often take on a deeper, more vibrant shade of green. This is a direct result of improved nutrient uptake, particularly nitrogen and magnesium. Let's compare two plots side by side. In one, we rely solely on a schedule of synthetic chemical fertilizers. The plants may shoot up quickly, a flush of rapid, sometimes weak growth. The soil beneath them, however, can remain lifeless and compact. In the adjacent plot where we have been feeding the soil with microbial brews, the growth is different. It is steady, strong, and robust. The plants have thicker stems and a more developed structure. Another profound difference is how the soil handles water. In the chemically treated plot, water tends to puddle on the surface or run off, taking topsoil and expensive fertilizers with it. In the microbe-rich plot, the story is entirely different. The tireless work of the microbes has built a porous, crumbly structure. Perhaps the most satisfying result is the reduced dependency on outside inputs. As the microbial community becomes self-sustaining, it effectively creates its own fertilizer. You are no longer just feeding the plants, you are cultivating a resilient living system that provides for itself. This saves money, reduces work, and protects the wider environment from nutrient runoff. The secret to explosive growth without chemical fertilizers was never truly a secret. It was an understanding. It was the wisdom of observing nature and working with her intricate systems, not against them. Nature has already provided us with all the tools we need for abundance. The tiny, powerful microbes in the soil have been building fertility for eons. The ancient practices of our ancestors simply showed us how to encourage them, how to become partners in this beautiful and essential process. Today we are rediscovering this profound connection, and it holds immense promise for our future. This journey does not require expensive equipment or a degree in biology. It begins with a change in perspective. It starts with seeing soil not as an inert medium but as a living, breathing ecosystem. It requires a little curiosity and a willingness to try. You can start small. Brew a small batch of compost tea for a single potted plant. Ferment some garden weeds and see how your vegetable patch responds. Take a moment to simply look at your soil. Does it smell earthy and sweet? Does it crumble in your hands? Do you see worms and other signs of life? These are the first steps. Every time we choose to nurture the life in our soil, we make a positive impact that extends far beyond our own garden fence. We grow food that is more nutritious and resilient. We conserve water, a resource that is becoming ever more precious. We reduce our reliance on industrial chemicals, protecting our local streams, rivers, and wildlife from harmful runoff. We sequester carbon in the soil, helping to create a healthier planet. By cultivating life at the microscopic level, we contribute to the health of the entire global ecosystem. The power to revitalize our land is in our hands. It is a quiet and gentle revolution that happens one garden, one farm, one pot at a time. We invite you to learn more, to experiment, and to witness the transformation for yourself. Watch your soil come alive. See your plants thrive in a way you never thought possible. Reconnect with the timeless living systems that sustain us all. Thank you for digging into this story with us. We encourage you to subscribe to Soil Story for more secrets from the world beneath your feet.